causing them to move around more frequently. They may also have trouble controlling their impulsive behaviors.
One time for them praying on my downfall. 2 times for the homies in the child hall. 3 times for them hoes on the internet shitting on niggas when they really should get out more. 4 times for the days that were all bad. 5 times for the bitches who ain't called back. 6 times for the kids like me who got ADHD just to kidnap a nigga like ISIS. Whoa. Turn the whole world to a crisis. Whoa. Walk around the city with an ice pick. I've been paranoid, usually I ain't like this. Ain't no telling how crazy I might get. Beat the police with a nightstick. In my whole life, I've been lifeless. Now I'm so fly, I'm a motherfucking flight risk.
And what is up, guys? Michael Buckeister here with Just for Clicks, live, raw, and uncut sports talk with my man, my brother from another mother, Michael LeBlanc. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother?
Dude, for whatever reason, Joyner Lucas always just gets me going.
Yeah.
Always.
Joyner Lucas, man, I love listening to his music.
Yeah. Have you heard that song by him by like the the Will Smith song?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Will Smith did like a remix of that or like added a verse to it. Have you heard that? I did. That's actually really, really, really good. And like it just I love the video and like is Will Smith the top 5 actor of like all time?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah.
When you talk about actors and like an overall career, I mean, like, I feel like Will Smith has to be in every conversation. I mean, like, you have like Samuel L. Jackson. You know, he's definitely a top 5. I think. I'd even say Adam Sandler's probably top 5. Like, I love all of his stuff.
I mean, in comedy, I would say he's top 5, but like overall. I don't know, man.
He's done some pretty good serious movies though too. Adam Sandler.
I would have to say like Will Smith is like, probably number 1.
Do you remember that?
Really good movies.
And he's even better in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like I'd assume that's probably based loosely off of his his life. I'm sure, but that episode where like his dad comes and visit him, he's like a truck driver and like he's like, yeah, let's go try out for the world, and his dad tries to like sneak out, and then like Will's like, why don't you like, dude, I cry dang near every time I see that episode, and I know what's about to come. Thank you, Nancy, for the like.
You're kind of you're a little soft. You know what I mean?
I definitely gotten soft in my old age. I mean, like I was watching Bambi with my son earlier today. When I got
Please
home
tell me you didn't cry during Bambi.
I was holding back some tears, man. I'm not even going to lie. Holding back some tears. So,
would you put Denzel Washington in that list? I mean, you got so many great actors: Will Smith, Marlon Brando, Jack Nicholson, Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks. Leonardo DiCaprio.
I have never hated a movie that Tom Hanks has been in. Like I don't think.
Yeah. No, I mean, Al Pacino.
Oh, dude, man, there's so many like great ones, and
Anthony Hopkins, Tom Cruise, Clint Eastwood.
I don't know who Anthony Hopkins is.
Silence of the Lambs.
I'm not great with names. I don't think I've ever seen Silence of the Lambs.
You've got to go. You have to go watch that movie.
Is that the one where they're running in the woods and it's like a horror type?
No, not really. You go watch it.
Okay,
Cindy's
a big
like
horror.
A suspense thriller.
Cindy's a big that type of like Cindy is a movie buff. Like my movies pretty much consist of action and sports, and I don't really venture too much like off of there because I know I'm going to like an action movie or like a sports movie because I can relate to it. Like
you know another one we left off the list, and rest in peace, Robin Williams.
Yes.
Wow.
You know, probably the worst movie that I can think of that he was in was Flubber, and that was still pretty good.
I can't think of a bad movie that Robin Williams was in. I can't.
I mean, what do you think his best movie was? Was it Mrs. Doubtfire?
Mrs. Doubtfire. Patch Adams was really good.
Oh, I forgot about Patch. Yeah, Patch Adams was really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, there's so many. Dude, we just need to like binge out, like take a week and a half off of work and just like watch movies of like his and Will Smiths and.
I should give you. I have a Plex account that my buddy has, and I have to give you access to that. It has more content than Netflix and Hulu combined.
Yeah, I think we we have it on our TV, like it came with it. I think I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, you just have to be tied into my server.
Right. So speaking of Tom Hanks, I saw a preview of a movie strictly on Apple TV, and when it's exclusively on Apple TV, I was like, oh, this is gonna be lame as fuck, right? But the show's called Greyhound. It looks like they're like a submarine, and they're like attacking and like stuff. But
whoa, yeah. Hold on. What's up, Jameson? Jameson just posted something. Major investors demanding Nike, FedEx, and Pepsi to break partnerships if Redskins don't change the name.
Okay, let's go ahead and start the show. Let's talk about this. I mean, normally we like to banter a little bit back and forth, have some guy talk. But
Jameson just dropped a bomb on us, though.
I mean, like, so Pepsi, FedEx, and who else was it? Nike. I mean, first of all, Nike is a sponsorship to the NFL, and if the Redskins are in the NFL, how can they boycott that? Like, oh, you can't exactly. you can't wear our jerseys. Like, come on, like that's kind of asinine, man. But I can see like FedEx and Pepsi saying, hey, like we don't want to pay you $17 million to like advertise or but that would be stupid for them because Coca-Cola would slide right in there. UPS would probably slide in right in there. But I want to bring it up. Like, you have many names that are racist in the you have the Chicago Blackhawks. You had the Kansas City Chiefs. I would go out and far and say the Dallas Cowboys are probably a racist name like as well.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well say that. I mean, Cowboys ran around and shot Indians, so
right. I mean, so you had the Cleveland Indians.
Where do you draw the line? At what point do you draw the line?
I mean, I think if you are, what's up, Alan from Strikeout Beer? I'm going to call you out later, there, son. So you just
up, Tony? You
just be prepared for that, Mr. Strikeout Beer. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think you have to it is kind of like it's been. I mean, the Redskins have been around since what, the '60s, right? Like at least.
Yeah.
I mean, the Chiefs have been around since the '60s. The Cleveland Indians, they've been around since what, the '40s or so like, what makes the Washington Redskins name so horrible and not the Cleveland Indians or the Kansas City Chiefs? Nobody has ever said anything about the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, is Chiefs not a derogatory term because they were a leader of the Native American pack?
Yeah, I think so. I think Redskins is looked at as like a derogatory name, maybe. I don't know, man. I'm so tired of the younger generation with this. I'm offended by everything.
Yeah, I mean, like, what legitimately is offensive? I mean, like, I get it; it's a racial term, I guess, but isn't a cowboy a racial term? Isn't an Indian a racial term? I mean, because their correct political statement is Native like Americans. Isn't a Blackhawk? I mean, like, I think a Blackhawk is some type of Indian tribe, isn't it?
Yeah.
So do you want me to take away the Chicago Blackhawks name because I'm isolating one Native American group and say, oh, I can't? It's stupid. Like,
I mean, it's just it started with the Me Too movement. Now it's the I'm offended by everything.
Yeah,
and like.
We're raising a generation of fucking
take down
pussies.
All these statues of everything like that, and
I could see the statues because of the Confederacy and whatnot. I mean, like, yes, it's a part of our history, but I mean, but I'm talking about.
But those statues aren't. Some of those statues aren't celebrating, what they stood for. They're celebrating because they were great generals in the military. You know what I mean?
Yeah, speaking of that, like, I'm a Kentucky Wildcat fan, lock as well. I kind of had to like them to make my wife happy, but I've grown to like Kentucky sports, And apparently Rupp, which is Rupp Arena, is where the Kentucky Wildcats play their men's basketball games. Apparently he said the N-word back in like 1952, and since the stadium
now they
is
want to
named,
change the name.
Yeah, because he says I don't want a bunch of N-words on my team. Back in the 50s, when we were still segregated, like at that point, if I'm not mistaken. Like I don't know my history by any means, but I mean, like Rupp made Kentucky basketball. Like if Rupp wasn't the coach, Adolph Rupp wasn't a coach for Kentucky basketball back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, nobody would know who Kentucky basketball is. Let's be totally honest. Like, why would you want to remove a name like that from your thing? But
Jameson's comment, I mean, it's on the same level as the derogatory word, and is what he's been told. I thought the derogatory was like, because I mean they call them savages. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I thought that was the.
And it's funny that you used the word savage, because I have I think it's an Under Armour shirt that says savage as AF, right? And some girl got in trouble putting a shirt. She put a shirt out that says savage female, and people got all bent out of shape about it. I'm like, this is stupid. I mean,
I think it's just a generation of everybody just wants something to bitch at.
I mean, like, so let's say that. I mean, like Jameson, like I know you probably know your stuff and you're doing research and stuff. If the Redskins is on the same level as the N-word, why are we just now saying something about it? Why didn't we say something about it in the 60s when the Washington Redskins were around, when they were the first expansion team?
They've been talking about changing their name
for about 5 or 6 years, right?
Yeah, about 5 or 6 years now.
But I'm saying, why did they do that when the NFL team first came in? Like, hey, Redskins is the equivalent to the N-word. We should probably say something about this, but nobody said anything till 2009? Like, why? Hashtag me too. I mean, like that's what it come down to. So basically what we should call all these teams is Dallas A, Kansas City B, to offend nobody, but then they'll be like, oh, we're third in the alphabet. Why can't we be AA? Or, it's just something. It is always going to be something.
Like, no matter what you do, you can't please everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's people that watch our show that don't like us because of the way we talk.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I don't give a shit.
I actually got an inbox. Mike, let me tell you about this inbox that I got. All this said was, "You are a douche."
Wow.
Like I'm like, oh, like with a question mark, and like he's like, "You are a douche because I said so." I'm like, well, that clears that up real good. Thank you, man. And then like he just continued to tell me like how big of a douchebag that I am, but could never tell me why I'm a douchebag. I'm like, hey, let me pull up his name. Should I say his name?
You should call him out.
Tony Clark is his name. He is.
Well, Tony Clark, you're a douchebag.
He is from TCP TV. Apparently, like he's some networking over in Pennsylvania or something. So congratulations to the Amish land for having a network. But he just called me a douche for like never gave me a reason why. I can at least give me a reason why I'm a douche, right? So, and Jameson come out and said, Mike, it's been longer than that, but people have been getting offended easily. So I'm assuming they've been trying to change the name longer than that.
Yeah, I want to say it's been like longer than I want to say it's been like almost 10 years.
Yeah, so about 2009, I think, when it started coming to fruition.
It's this generation of entitled kids, man, that got participation.
It's my generation.
Yeah, thanks.
Well,
it up for the rest of us.
I mean, like, so
how old are you, Buck?
I just turned 33 like this year, so I'm kind of on like the tail end of the beginning of that generation, kind of like where like, hey, everything's about everything like about me. It is. It's almost like actually about my wife's age is like is when like they started having kids and like, oh, you can't drink out of the garden hose. Hey, you have to wear a seatbelt everywhere you go. Hey, you have to sit in a rear facing car seat till you're 5. Hey,
I don't know how many times I drank out of the garden hose because when I was a kid, Oh my God! If I went inside, if I went inside, that was it. You're staying your ass inside. There's no going in and out. So you want to take the drink?
I'm not cool. I'm not cool on the
outside. I'm not air conditioning the neighborhood.
Right.
So yeah, like it was. If you went inside, that was it. So
yeah.
Well, shit. I'm thirsty. I'm gonna drink out of the garden hose.
I mean, honestly, it was ice cold. It was readily available. And you can squirt your friends like, hey, you motherfucker, got your ass, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, when I grew up in Covington, I used to run around that whole city with this guy named this kid named, I think his name was Willie, and we used to go fishing and everything like that. And man, there would be times I'd be thirsty and I would drink out of the damn river.
That's pushing it for like me, because our rivers back in Kansas, it would not be uncommon to see a tire floating down the river. Like,
I mean, these kids today are just too damn sheltered. And it like when pre-show when I got up and told the kids to settle down, you were like, oh, you got a yes sir out of them.
Right.
You damn right I got a yes sir. It's yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am here. We don't play that. Raising productive members of society, son.
Yeah, and I cannot wait till your kids are like adult to like pass down your parenting and like, because you know, just from knowing you since like April, or it's like so like I know you run a tight ship over there, and I'm sure they will do the same thing when they're older and having kids and putting work in for society and whatnot. But Jameson, thank you for the post that you sent us here. So I got a general question. Let's say Nike does try to no longer support the Washington Redskins. Can they legitimately do that? I mean, because they support the NFL, and the Redskins are part of the NFL. So are the Redskins open to go to Adidas to get their uniforms?
I mean, you would think they would have to be, right?
Right. I mean, I coach high school ball, and we get all of our stuff from Under Armour. Under Armour jerseys and pants are freaking amazing, man. Like, I mean, like they come like 6 inches tall, but they stretch out to fit a lineman. You know, like it's a very beautiful thing that what they got going over there. So I bet you Adidas, Under Armour, hell, I bet you Reebok would make a comeback. And so
Reebok would make a comeback for sure.
Like, oh, you guys want us to put $1 billion in? Okay, where do we sign? Or how about even this New Balance? Like, you know, they could probably make a splash in the sports world too. Shit.
You may be a little too young, but do you remember Apex?
Vaguely. I'm not, but
they were like a big shoe, like sports shoe company.
Yeah. So I mean, Nike's probably not a big deal. I mean, they can find other companies that would support them. I mean, pretty much every one of those competitors that were listed there, FedEx, UPS would probably jump on board. Losing Nike, Adidas would jump on board. Losing Pepsi, I'm sure Coke would slide right in there. Oh, losing Bud Light, hello Coors Light, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, you guys can say all you want, say the right things, but at the end of the day, Daniel Snyder has said many times that he's not going to change the name. I mean, it's history, right?
It is what it is.
But guys, we're going to take a quick little break here. On the other side of the break, there's been some big news in Packerland. The number 26 overall pick signs a guaranteed contract. What does this mean for Aaron Rodgers? Find out right after the break.
Who shot me, but your pumps didn't finish. Now you're about to feel the wrath of a menace. Nigga, I hit him up. Check this out. You motherfuckers know what time it is. I don't even know why I'm on this track. Y'all niggas ain't even on my level. I'm gonna let my little homies ride on you bitch-made ass bad boy bitch. Feel.
Get out the way, yo. Get out the way, yo. Biggie Smalls just got dropped. Little move past the mat. And let me hit him in his back. Frank Wright need to get spanked right for setting traps. Little accident murder.
All right, guys, welcome back to Just for Clicks, live, raw, and uncut sports talk. A little bit of Tupac there. Tupac's actually living across the street from me, along with some other legends. I think Elvis is over there, like as well. But during the break there, Jameson came across the chat here, and it says it looks like Washington Redskins would lose $65 million in endorsements if this does
$650 million.
Yeah, sorry, $650 million. So basically all of their payroll would not be able to get paid probably for the 2020 season if this were to make fruition. But I'm sure there's some clauses in there. I mean, most people probably sign a 5-7 year deal. I'm sure that's, I don't know. I think they'll be fine. They've been fine for, 60 years or whatever it's like it's been. I'm sure they'll be fine moving forward. But Mike, hit us with the news from Packerland.
So Jordan Love, the first rookie ever to receive a fully guaranteed contract, rookie deal, $12.3 million, just a little more than $12.3 million, and that includes a $6.5 million contract. So, Buck, I ask you, what does this mean for Aaron Rodgers? Is Aaron Rodgers officially on his way out?
So I've been going back and forth with some Packer fans earlier today, and Aaron Rodgers does have a 2-year deal left on his contract that he just signed last season. I think it's worth right around $30 million in total. This year being that high, that higher end of like 16 or 17 million that he is going to get paid this season. However, to have a guaranteed contract for a rookie, especially a quarterback, when you have quite arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks on your team still, that makes me question what Aaron Rodgers has been saying behind closed doors. He was unhappy with Mike McCarthy a couple years ago. They got him out. Is he going to say, "Hey, I'm unhappy with Jordan Love being here"? Are they going to get him out? No, they're going to ship a 33-year-old or 35-year-old quarterback out of town. I think
ship his ass to Dallas.
Yeah, I would say there are probably 80% of the teams right now would give a first-round pick for Aaron Rodgers for his services for even 2 or 3 years. The only teams I could not see him going to, obviously, right now is the New England Patriots because they have Cam Newton. Although, wouldn't that be something? Aaron Rodgers to New England Patriots, they trade Cam Newton to the Packers.
Belichick and Aaron Rodgers, that would be nasty.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be nasty.
That would be very, very intriguing. But he wouldn't go to Kansas City. Obviously, he probably wouldn't go to Tampa Bay because Tom Brady's there. Wouldn't go to Seattle because Russell. Obviously, thanks Harry for sharing the feed there, man. Definitely appreciate it. So there are probably only a handful of teams that would not give up a first-round pick for him. So if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I have wore out my welcome in Green Bay. I am being a cancer in the locker room right now. Hey, you guys didn't draft me any freaking help on this offensive side. I took you to 13-3 last season, took you to the NFC Championship with nobody on the roster. Yes, you can say you have Devontae Adams and Fuller, or I don't have their receivers off the top of my head. No running game. Defense was suspect at most, and you draft my replacement when I took you to 13-3. We are right there on the cusp. I just need a little bit of help. Aaron Rodgers is going to raise hell right now. Once training camp opens up in 28 days or 27 days now, actually, I'm going to be a cancer. I'm going to be like, you effing cocksuckers.
Jameson said he's there for at least 2 years because of the dead cap. The Packers can make up that money in a trade.
Yeah. I mean,
Packers can make up that money in a trade, and there are teams out there that would pay that money. They would happily pay that money.
Yeah, LA Chargers would be one of them. They would love him. How about Oakland Raiders? They would love him.
They'd just take over the contract and just be done with it.
Right. They would take over the contract and probably give you a first-round pick as well. I mean, think about this. Let's throw out some possible trades that could happen for Aaron Rodgers right now. Okay? I can think of teams in the AFC West right now that would kill for him. 3 teams. Denver Broncos, LA Chargers, and Las Vegas Raiders. They would all give first-round picks for him, and their team would almost instantly be contenders in the AFC. They would instantly contenders.
One of their quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, that's a given. I mean, mean, you send your starter to Denver to be a backup. I mean, yeah, that starter may not be happy, but you're getting Aaron freaking Rodgers. You are instantly
the Cowboys. Dak Prescott wants $45 million. Shit, I'll pay the $30 million, and I'll send Dak Prescott, and I'll send a first-round draft pick for Aaron Rodgers.
I would send. So if I'm Dallas Cowboys, let's talk about that. I would send you Dak Prescott. I would send you my number 2 wide receiver. What is his name?
Michael Gallup?
Yeah, I would send him like as well for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because there are receivers in the free agent market right now that we're going to talk about later that I would love to pick up. Yeah, I can move CeeDee Lamb up to the number 2. I still have Amari Cooper and then pick up a free agent wide receiver easily. I could give him $3 million to come, be my number 3, and if I get something out of him, awesome. I still have Aaron freaking Rodgers. I am instantly a Super Bowl contender if I'm the Dallas Cowboys. Instantly.
Oh, you're more than a Super Bowl contender. You're probably, if Aaron Rodgers was on the Cowboys, you are easily the pick in the NFC to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Who else? San Francisco's not going to be able to battle them at that point. That defense.
The only team I could see them getting a run for their money is Tampa Bay if everything starts to click for them and they pick up the receiver that we're getting ready to talk to on the second part of the show, or if the Saints are the Saints. It's some was that if the Saints resemble anything that they had the last couple of years, they could give the Cowboys a run for the money, as well. But I'm thinking the Cowboys, 100%.
100%.
So, I mean,
it's Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers. Like the dude works miracles with nothing.
Right. We saw it last year, 13-3. The only reason why they lost the NFC Championship was because he didn't have anybody to throw to.
Yep.
You can tell. I mean, Green Bay Greg has been telling me these don't sleep on these receivers. Don't sleep on these receivers. I'm sleeping on them because Devontae Adams is all you got. Once the other receiver corps show me something, show me 100-yard game. That's all I ask.
They really don't even have a run game either.
Yeah, I mean, who is their tailback right now? Anyways, because they traded Ty Montgomery to the Jets last year. They did draft a running back, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have it pulled up in front of my face right now, but I thought they did draft a running.
Where's Jameson when we need him?
So Jordan Love's guaranteed was it $26 million? You said,
yeah, with
$6 million guaranteed or $6 million signing bonus.
I mean, it's $12.3 million.
Yes, it was like a total of $18 million or something.
Yeah.
But
guaranteed.
My thing is guaranteed money.
Yeah, and the deal also includes a fifth year option.
He hasn't taken a snap in the NFL. You're giving him guaranteed money,
and he's not even going to start.
Well, after today with his guaranteed money
like that, I mean, does that tell you that? I mean, you giving you giving guaranteed money away like that. I'm not giving guaranteed money for somebody to sit on the bench.
Well, it is like the New York Mets. Like today is that Major League Baseball name. Like I don't know his name off the top of my head, but July 1st of like every year till year 2037, the Mets got to pay this guy $1.1 million.
Yeah, Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, so I mean it's kind of like that. I mean, so my gut is telling me that something in the backside is working. Like, we haven't heard anything. Green Bay Packers are keeping their mouths hush-hush because they don't want to fumble the trade or something, but they have to have something to work out. To want to give Jordan Love guaranteed money without seeing any product on the field whatsoever, that tells me that Aaron Rodgers has one foot out the door, and the ownership, or I guess, because the city owns the Packers, so I guess the general manager is pushing him out the door as well. So yeah. I mean, that's what it's telling me, because we've seen it before. They did it to Jordy Nelson said he wanted to retire in Packerland. Like 2 weeks later, he's in freaking Oakland. Like, yeah, he was arguably your number one receiver. Like, so I think Jordy Nelson is one of the most influential receivers.
Out the door too because of Aaron Rodgers.
Right,
they're following the same recipe.
AJ Dillon is
the writing is on the wall, and this guaranteed money just makes it even more clear.
Yeah, so Jameson, there you go, Mike. AJ Dillon is the running back to the Green Bay Packers. So they did draft a running back. I don't know what he would do in the NFL. Like I said, offensive players are more susceptible to bust than defensive players are. But this means, I think, all of you people that have Aaron Rodgers jerseys, all you guys better frame them, because they're going to be worth some money, because he's never going to be playing Green Bay Packer ever again. I would not be surprised if he doesn't take another snap for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. I think Jameson just brought up, he said, I believe Green Bay would still eat a $30+ million dead cap hit. I think they would too. I mean, they did it with Brett Favre. Well,
there are ways around everything. I mean, but
no, of course, but man, that's not good news for Aaron Rodgers. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm like, either I already know something, or
well, let me go on the other side. This is good news for Aaron Rodgers, because now he doesn't have to have that shadow of Jordan Love behind him. You know, saying, if let's say for some incredible reason they start 0-4, Aaron Rodgers is like throwing 165 yards, a touchdown, some interceptions like every game, just not looking Aaron Rodgers-esque, right? You are going to hear rumblings, put Jordan Love in. He doesn't want to hear that. No. Nobody wants to hear that. I mean, he is a freaking I'm going to say he's better than Tom Brady. I think Aaron Rodgers is better than Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady. The best quarterback in the league does not want to hear that. Like, guys, I led you to a Super Bowl. I led you to 13-3, and you want a rookie to take my spot when I'm in? He's still in his prime. Aaron Rodgers is still in his prime. Man, this is stupid.
Bring him to Dallas. Just bring him to Dallas.
Do you remember last night when we were talking to most dysfunctional organizations, and we threw up like Chargers and Jacksonville and
Cleveland.
Raiders, the Cleveland?
Yeah.
Green Bay Packers is creeping up that list really freaking quick.
Yeah,
really quick.
You can't botch this with Aaron Rodgers. You have arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
But Mike, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We have some more news on the backside. The NFL season is starting to heat up. We got some talks coming. We got some rumors of free agency going to veteran teams, air quotes there. Executives thinks one team's better than the other, but we'll be right back after this quick musical break.
You the one that's gonna come down with it. Hey. You the one that's gonna come down with it. You the one that's gonna come down with it. You the one that's gonna come down with it. You the one that's gonna come down with it. You the one that's gonna come down with it. Hey. You the one that's gonna come down with it.
And welcome back to Just for Clicks, guys. Live, raw, and uncut sports talk with Michael Buckeiser and Mike Mablah. If you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, we're on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio as well. Starting in just 4 days now, Mike. 4 days away. Mike and Mike's Man Hour starts. Same great rawness, but just a better production quality and just more rebranding to fit us. Like, fit the vibe that we have going here 9 times out of 10. So,
hey, Cindy, if you're listening, I'm throwing my hat in the ring for y'all to move to Austin.
Yeah. So
putting that out there.
So I kind of want to talk about this pre-show. Like, me and Cindy are house hunting, and like every year, we kind of make that big adult purchase, right? You know. Mm-hmm. And earlier this February, March, when the pandemic first hit, we made our adult purchase and we bought a lawnmower for our yard. We needed a new lawnmower, right? So I go out and we have like a half acre, so I push mow, but it's more it's one of those self-propelled ones, you know. You pull the handle and wheel spin. I go out to mow my grass, and the self-propeller wheels don't work anymore, and I forgot how hard it is to freaking push mow a yard without the self-propelled wheels, man. I was huffing and puffing, sweat was pouring down my face. I was like, man, am I that out of shape? Motherfucker. But, yeah, so Cindy, Mike would love us to move to Austin. And,
yeah.
You know, taxes.
You'd save money.
Taxes. And,
save money.
Think about how great the show would be if we were in the same room.
Oh my God. You would probably be touching me all the time. I don't know about that.
Luckily, I got like an 8-foot table here I would bring down, so we'd at least be a little bit of social distance. So let's go ahead and get into some bulk NFL news here. So one of the biggest stories that I found intriguing for the day that came across my Twitter machine, I like to troll Twitter. If you guys are ever interested, you can follow us at Mike Manhour over there on the Twitter machine. But a ex-New England Patriot executive, he renamed Anonymous, which I hate when people rename Anonymous.
You're going to have the balls to say it. Say who.
You're going to make a bold statement. Put your name on it, right?
Yeah.
He says, anonymously, that the New England Patriots with Cam Newton will dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC. That's a bold statement from an anonymous tip.
I can make an argument.
Make an argument for me, man. Make an argument for me.
That defense is kind of they've got a good defense over there.
Who, the Patriots?
Yeah.
Yes. I believe they were top. They were the best defense last year statistically. Yeah. Is that correct?
Statistically, I think they were number 1 last season.
Behind then the Bills number 2. Yep.
And you got that. You just got that genius mind of Bill Belichick. Think how much more they're going to be able to do with Cam Newton.
But are they really going to do much more with Cam Newton though?
Yeah, no, I think they will, man. Because think about it. With Tom Brady, it was just. He's just going to drop back. He's not going to scramble with you. Right? Cam Newton, if healthy, right? If we're talking about a healthy Cam Newton, like everybody's saying he's healthy, right? So that's what we're going to go off of. You've got a running back now as a quarterback in the backfield, and you've got a quarterback who has an arm, right? I think Cam Newton has just as good an arm as Brady does.
Well, I'm not saying that Tom Brady has a noodle arm, but he has a noodle arm, and we saw he would consistently throw ducks on like 10-yard outs. Like he was definitely struggling to get the ball out there with like zip. Cam Newton will throw that with just like a flick of the wrist. So yeah, I could see that. But
I mean, so now when you're playing the Patriots, when you played the Patriots before, you knew what you were going to get out of Tom Brady.
Slants,
right? You knew
and
you were going to get
game, right?
Yeah, you knew you were going to get the drop back passes and everything like that. With Cam Newton, now you've got a game plan for them a little differently, and Bill Belichick knows that. And Josh McDaniels is going to have some fun with Cam Newton.
So let me throw some outliers here. When you play the New England Patriots, you didn't really get a pass rush because Tom Brady would get the ball out so fast. I believe he held the ball on an average of like 1.5 seconds, something ridiculous. So he knew where he was going. He's like, I'm going here, snap, slant, out, whatever. Like he knew where he was going pre-snap 9 times out of 10. I believe he only took like 10 or 15 sacks total ever. Cam Newton has the slowest release. Like his is. What was it? It's 5.7 seconds from 4.7 seconds from the time he catches the ball and gets the ball in the air. So you are going.
But here's the thing, though, right? Tom Brady had to get it out quick because Tom Brady can't scramble.
It's also because the offensive line was pretty horrible.
Yeah, but
and you have the injury prone Cam Newton with the shitty offensive line.
But you got to think Cam Newton scrambles a lot too. Right, and he tries to hold the ball back there to make something happen.
True.
That's why he has a 5-second, something like that.
Is that a Bill Belichick type of system though? Because we've seen it for 20 years. Bill Belichick wants to dink and dunk down the field, milk the clock.
No, but I think it's a Josh McDaniels system.
But Josh McDaniels is also a system of Bill Belichick for the last 5 or 6 years. Sometimes you get stuck in your ways.
I don't like the Patriots. I didn't like the Patriots because I don't like Tom Brady. Right. So now I don't like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I'm excited to see what Cam is going to do in New England. Like it's going to be the Patriots game. I'm going to be tuning in.
Yeah. I've always when you think of a system quarterback, you think of like Tom Brady, you think of like, I don't know, Carson Wentz, Nick Foles. Like you think of like these quarterbacks that succeed in like one spot. The reason why I brought up not Nick Foles because I was in an like a heated discussion with some Chicago Bears fans, and I said, tell me where Nick Foles has succeeded outside of Philly, and nobody could say anything. So Cam Newton is not a system quarterback. I think Cam Newton can go anywhere and succeed. So I do see your points of Josh McDaniels having some more fun, yada yada yada, and I believe I can't remember. Was it Edelman that come out and like tweeted said that let's go, let's have some fun? Do you not remember like the Tom Brady offense was pretty dynamic? Just 2 years ago they scored 55 points versus Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football. Like, I mean, that Patriots offense wasn't any slouch. And you keep bringing up the words here. If Cam Newton's healthy, 31 other teams obviously did not think Cam Newton was healthy. I think the only reason why the New England Patriots did pick up Cam Newton was because they lost their third-round pick, and if they lose Cam Newton in the offseason, they get that conventional third-round pick for the loss of Cam Newton. So, like Bill Belichick's kind of like washing his hands. Yeah, we broke the rules, we cheated, but we're going to get Cam and get that third-round pick back. We'll be fine. So, I've been going back and forth, and I don't think Cam Newton is going to start for New England Patriots. I don't think
100% he's going to start.
Why? I mean, they have Jarrett Stidham. He has been a year in the system under Josh McDaniels.
No, you don't.
Cam Newton has been healthy since 2015.
Cam Newton is proven. I'm telling you, Cam Newton will be starting.
He's proven 5 years ago. He played 2 games last year for the Carolina Panthers. He just signed for the Patriots. He hasn't had any offseason, virtual meetings with the Patriots he really can't start working out with the Patriots until the 28th. Do you think logically that he can start week 1 because of pure talent or like just because
pure talent? If he is healthy now, right? This is what I'm going off of. Everybody's saying he's healthy.
Right.
Off of pure talent alone, 100%. He's got more talent in his left arm than Stidham has.
See, and I can't say anything about Jarrett Stidham because I'm not a Patriots fan. Like I didn't watch any other preseason games last year by any means. I didn't see him in college. I saw a couple highlights that like we were doing. I did my first ever mock draft back in 2019, and Jarrett Stidham was like obviously a quarterback, and I don't think I even graded him because he was rated so low. So, like I can't speak on the ability of Jarrett Stidham. So I'm going to have to go off what people have been saying and what I've been reading. And I believe, was it Wayne from Infinity Sports said, if Jarrett Stidham was a quarterback in the SEC, he would have been a number 1 overall pick. But the fact that he was at Conference USA, he was a fourth round pick. I mean, if that is true, I'm going to take Jarrett Stidham over Cam Newton because he is like he is young. He has a year in my system, and I know that I can bank on him growing forward.
I mean, so it goes back to like you were talking about with the Cowboys, right? You think Andy Dalton is going to start over Dak Prescott
by
week 3 or 4?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So maybe Cam doesn't start week 1, week 2, week 3 or 4. Cam Newton will be starting.
See, and that's a totally different situation, though, because, I mean, like, honestly, Dak Prescott has come out saying that he still wants to work out a long-term deal, and he is threatening to sit out still. So, with that being said, Dak Prescott's probably done in Cowboy land. Like, let's be totally honest. Like, if he shits an egg and doesn't win a Super Bowl, see you later. You're going to Green Bay for Aaron Rodgers, 100%. But I don't care if Cam Newton is starting for the Patriots. I don't care if Jarrett Stidham is starting for the Patriots. I don't care if Aaron freaking Rodgers is starting for the Patriots.
Oh,
that Kansas City Chiefs offense is so dynamic, and that defense is getting better. They have a year underneath that new system with Steve Spagnuolo. I mean, Chris Jones may not play. Who cares? What has he done really for us? And like last year, yes, he had a couple big plays in the Super Bowl. I get it, but we drafted a defensive tackle. Jamal Adams is on the trading block still. We can get him. I mean, there are so many pieces that really what the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're not getting Jamal Adams. He's going to the Cowboys.
Do you know what the Jets need? They need a wide receiver. Who has an abundance of wide receivers? The Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs have 6 wide receivers that run under 4.240s.
Nobody cares about the Kansas City Chiefs.
Everybody does because they're back-to-back Super Bowl champs. So with that being said,
wait, they haven't even won their second one. Calm down.
We don't even need to play the 2020
season.
We
don't even need to play this season. We'll just crown the Chiefs the Super Bowl.
But I'm telling you, the Kansas City Chiefs offense is going to be so dynamic this year. They're going to keep snowballing and rolling down the hill and just get better and better and better. That you can have Aaron Rodgers at the helm for the New England Patriots. They just don't have the firepower to keep up. Yes, they still might go 11-5, 12-4, but you know who else who had a great regular season that shit an egg in the playoffs? Baltimore Ravens.
How butthurt are you going to be if the Patriots play the Chiefs in the playoffs and the Patriots send the Chiefs home?
We will be okay because D Ford is no longer on the Kansas City Chiefs to line up off sides. I'm still butthurt about that. That motherfucker was 5 yards offside, and he's like, I wasn't offside. What are you talking about? Like, dude, your ass wasn't even behind the line scrimmage. Come on. We'll move past that point. So, my whole point of this topic is Patriots executive. We could probably narrow you down. I mean, how many ex executives do the Patriots have? But put your name to that claim. I mean, I put my name on claims all the time, and I'm usually right. But that is besides the point.
Are you though?
Yeah, 80% of the time. 80% of the time, it works 100% of the time, right? So, speaking of working, Ezekiel Elliott was on a Twitch feed Monday night, and he ended the Twitch feed, but the Twitch feed didn't really end. And he said to his friend that he was, quote, low-key faded. Ezekiel Elliott was suspended a couple years ago for six games for off-the-field incidents. I believe he shoved a security guard at Arizona, or was it like at Vegas or Arizona? So some concert.
No, that's not why he was suspended. He got suspended because supposedly he hit a woman or some shit like that.
Well, he pulled her shirt down and popped.
Yeah, there you go.
Popped the areola out. But that was and then the next summer he shoved a security guard. So he has trending habits of doing bad stuff.
If he says I'm low key faded, I mean, we don't know if it was, from him smoking weed or, he could have been drunk too. You don't know, but guaranteed that the NFL is going to drug test him though.
Well, so guaranteed. My question is like, I'm assuming he's in Texas. Like, does like I don't know the marijuana laws in Texas, but is it
all the way illegal?
So it is legal. So
no, it's illegal. It's illegal. All the way illegal.
Okay, so that makes me wonder if police are going to hear this, or is he going to get in trouble? Like, are they going to come to his house and like search and seize stuff? Like,
No.
No, are you sure?
No.
They don't want to set an example.
No. They're not going to do that.
Ezekiel Elliott better low key not ever do that ever again, because he has a history of off the field manners. The pulling down the girl's short in the parade, shoving the security guard. Now, basically openly smoking weed. I mean, like, let's be honest, guys. In the chat here, if you're watching us live here on Facebook, when you say I'm low key faded, me being, I guess you can say, younger person, I'm not going to say I'm low key faded by drinking some beer. I'm not going to say I'm low key faded by I'm getting massage and getting top or something. Like that is a drug reference, and drugs are illegal in the NFL. So Jerry Jones, you better check your boy real quick, or I could see Zeke and Dak both leaving town by the end of the year. Like, if they eat this up. So, Mike, one more thing here before we go for the night. The Ivy League has come out and said that they are considering a 7-game college football season, and that season could run April to May. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because the Ivy League has already talked to some Power 5 conferences. They renamed anonymous, but the Power 5 conferences are big. The Big 10, the Big 12, SEC, Pac-12, and the ACC. So, you know, you got some big names there in those conferences. If the college football season cuts back down to 7 games and travels between April and May, does this hurt college football?
Yeah, I think so.
The biggest thing is, to me, is that you have these, sophomores this year and juniors and seniors that are projected to go to the NFL draft. You know, like we already had the way too early mock draft. You know, you had Trevor Lawrence up there, Justin Fields, just to name a few. If I was those kids and I'm playing in April, I'm not going to play my junior year of college. I'm going to take the year off. I'm going to prep my body for the NFL Combine and the draft and get ready for the NFL. Because let's be honest, they run a season from April until mid-May. I'm assuming the championship game is probably like June 1st, June 2nd. The draft is 2 weeks after that. Mid-June is usually June 28th was when the draft was this year. I'm sorry, May 28th. I lie. April 28th. It was when the draft was. So are you going to get drafted to the NFL and then go play a college season, possibly risk an injury and not get your guaranteed money? I mean, shit.
I mean, this is the Ivy League. Let's be honest. How many damn people are going to get drafted out of the Ivy League?
Well, but the Ivy League has also ran its course. They were the first conference to pull out of the NCAA tournament and the conference tournament when the whole COVID thing hit, and all the major college. Yes, I know COVID took over the world mid March, but I mean, they're gonna do what they want to do. I think it's dumb. 7-game season. Let those kids play. Just push it back to September. Shit.
Or push it back. But Jameson said, are we going to talk about the AB rumors?
I skipped over that, didn't I?
You did.
Go ahead. Lay it on us, Mike LeBlanc. Let's end the show right.
Those rumors are starting to really heat up right now. What
are the rumors? What are the rumors?
They're talking about AB going to Tampa.
Who is they? Is it AB releasing this information?
No, it's the pundits.
Well,
NFL, ESPN.
They can say all they want. Do you remember when Tom Brady first went to Tampa Bay and they said, Tom Brady, you have the reins. You are a Greek god. You can do whatever you want. You can bring anybody you want except for AB. Bruce Arians doesn't like AB. AB is a cancer.
Oh, man.
He's already said no once. Let's think about this logically here. Why do they need AB? They have Mike Evans. They have Goodwin. They have Gronk.
I mean, it's just more weapons to throw to. I mean, I know the dude's crazy and all that.
When you add an extra weapon, does it bring an extra ball onto the field? Asking for a friend.
He is still one of the top receivers in the game.
Is he, though?
Let's be honest.
Are his feet still frozen? Does the helmet fit his head yet? I mean,
I think if he does get another chance in the NFL, I don't see him being a prima donna. I think it's this whole situation has kind of humbled him a little bit.
I do agree with that.
I don't see him being a prima donna. I really see him going to a team and actually working his ass off and getting back to who he was when he was with the Steelers. AB in his prime, if he can get back to what he was, AB's better than Mike Evans.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
AB is better than Mike Evans.
I mean, he's definitely better than Goodwin for sure. I want to say that Mike Evans probably has a little bit more speed on him, and I think he's taller. I mean, I think Mike Evans is like 6'5" or 6'6", Antonio Brown's like 6'2", 6'6", 6'3", or something like that. But he played one game with the New England Patriots. What he caught for 4 balls for like 56 yards and a touchdown, like I think it was. And people say when you get cut from New England, it is career suicide. Name a player that has been cut by the New England Patriots that has ended up somewhere else and has succeeded. Very, very. I mean,
he only got cut because of all the legal trouble he got into.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have gotten cut. He would have played with the New England Patriots.
Do you really think so?
Yep.
Jameson says he's definitely better than Mike Evans.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, because like, have we seen the full potential of Mike Evans? Because he's had Jameis Winston as his quarterback his whole career. I mean, AB had Big Ben. Big Ben is still probably a top 5, top 7 quarterback in the NFL at 36 years old. If Mike Evans has even had Dak Prescott, I think his numbers would be elevated, and we would be talking to him like we talk about Michael Thomas. Like, to be honest, I think he's that good a talent.
I don't know, man. Brady, like Jameson said, Brady loves AB, and I think he really does.
Are they like jerking each other off? I mean, like, why? I mean, like, he spent what, like 2 weeks there? Like, what did Brady like about him so much there?
Telling you, I think AB is going to end up in Tampa Bay.
I mean, I hope you're wrong, to be honest. Actually, no, I hope you're right, because I hope Tampa Bay falls flat on their ass and they go 4-12. And I think Antonio Brown is just a person to bring that cancer into the locker room, crack a holding foundation that it's already have.
I don't think he brings cancer into the locker room. I think the dude is going to come in humbled. He's going to go in there. He's going to go to work.
So you think a year off has humbled him? So
yeah, for sure.
So many people have saying, like, the reason why he went so crazy last year was because he is, you know, he's been hit in the head once too many times, maybe a preset of CTE. I was even on record saying that, you know, like I had a teammate like him. He ended up committing suicide because he was just he just wasn't happy with like life. He was very, very depressed. Do you think maybe that was it? Like, he was just a depressed case because he left Pittsburgh going to Oakland in a not so favorable situation, just wasn't happy, and like that's why he was the way he was.
Could be.
I mean, I hope for his sake that he does have his head on straight. He's gotten the help that he needs. His rap career was over. Did you listen to his rap song? Oh my God!
Like Le'Veon Bell,
dude. Oh my God! It was horrible. Jameson said that offense will be crazy scary.
It would, but dude, Mike Evans and Antonio Brown, man. So that's scary. That's two true number one receivers that you're going to have to cover, and you can't double cover both of them.
You are right. You're
going to get a lot of help over the top with the safety for either one of them.
So you double team Antonio Brown and jam Mike Evans and force him to go deep down the field over and over and over. And Tom Brady doesn't throw a very good ball over 15 yards, and that's what Mike Evans is good at, is catching those deep balls.
Oh, man, I don't know about that, man. That offense is going to be really scary with Antonio Brown if he goes.
Okay,
that's going to be if Antonio Brown goes, everybody's already dubbed them a Super Bowl contender now. But if Antonio Brown goes to Tampa, man, yeah, Jameson, yeah, and Goodwin, but I mean, we're talking about
you double Antonio Brown, you jam Mike Evans at the line, force him to go over the top,
what are you
go
do
deep.
With Goodwin? What are you going to do with Goodwin?
You have a safety to roll down there, so you are going to rely on Gronk, a Gronk that can't stay healthy, a Gronk that was wrestling, a Gronk that retired because he didn't want to play. Like, you are basing your whole Super Bowl contention off of Gronk.
I don't think Gronk would have. You know why I think Gronk retired? He didn't want to play for Belichick anymore.
Or because he kept getting hurt?
No, I think he just didn't want to fall under, Belichick. We all know Belichick runs a tight ship.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't think
you are correct. It is hard to come to practice or to work every day when you have like a nagging injury to a grumpy coach. Like, yes, I've been there, I've done that, and it sucks. So I could see that.
So I'm telling you, if they get AB, you've got now 2 true number 1 receivers with Mike Evans and Antonio Brown. Then you have to worry about Goodwin, and then you have to worry about Gronk. Dude, what do you line up in the spread almost every down? What do you?
They line up in the spread every down, anyways.
No, I mean there's no more I formation or single back formation. There's none of that anymore. You're lining up in the spread every down,
right?
Because, well, hell, I don't know if they're going to hand the ball off. I don't know if they're going to, come across the middle with Gronk, or I'm going to hit him deep with Evans or Antonio Brown, or if
I give you all that,
going to come across the middle. Dude, like, whoa.
I will give you all of that. Okay, I'll give you all of that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to man up on all those receivers and bring them blitz at you every time. Get in Tom Brady's face versus that suspect offensive line. We don't know anything about that offensive line whatsoever. Hit Tom Brady one time, he is going to cry like a little bitch and whine and throw his helmet. Give me some block, run, and then he's done for the rest of the season.
Dude, you there's not a defense in the world. Even the San Francisco 49ers, there's not even the Patriots. There's not a defense in the league that can match up one-on-one in their secondary.
I'm not saying you have to match up on them one-on-one. You have to get there faster than Tom Brady can get rid of the ball.
You would have to get Jamal out. You'd have to get the 2 best corners in the league on your defense, the best safety in the league, and the best strong safety in the league. And then you would have to have at least 1 or 2 of the best linebackers in the league to cover Gronk. No. Let
me tell you how you beat them. Line up on the side, jam them. You get press coverage, and bring a linebacker, bring a defensive end on a blitz every freaking time. Send more than they can block every time. And when you're jamming the wide receivers at the line, yes, sometimes they might beat you deep. Okay, I'm going to put bet that Tom Brady's noodle arm will throw a duck and would only get 60% of the time. And then I have an offense, my Kansas City Chiefs offense, that can just score more points than them faster than they can.
No, but no. But no.
If Antonio Brown goes to the Bucs, I will give you that they're they're already Super Bowl contenders. Their odds would definitely increase tremendously.
Yeah, they would definitely be the favorite to win the Super Bowl. They would be the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Then the Dallas Cowboys have to pursue Aaron Rodgers at that point,
I think they have to pursue somebody. Dak Prescott's not going to get it done. If we're talking about NFC teams that could challenge if AB goes to Tampa Bay, if we're talking about teams that could challenge them, you're only looking at
you'd be looking at an offensive shootout, I think, because I don't think the Bucs defense is that good. I don't watch the Buccaneers by any means, but clearly when we were breaking down stats, they weren't in the top 15 defensive stats from last year. So it would be an offensive shootout. It would come down to Saints versus Bucs, or the Cowboys versus Bucs, or
I wouldn't even put the Cowboys in there because they got Dak Prescott.
But they still have the Cowboys have just enough to make Dak look great again because they have a solid running game. They have
they had that last
receivers.
Season. They had that last season, and Dak Prescott.
They were injury prone on the offensive line, though.
That may be true, but Dak Prescott consistently overthrew players deep and left 14 points on the table.
Wasn't he hurt though? He had off shoulder. He had surgery on his shoulder on the off season, right, or something like that.
Who?
Yeah.
No.
Because I thought in the final game of the season versus the Eagles, they reported of him having.
Yeah, he was hurt the final game. But what about all the other games? What about all the other 15 games that He sucked.
I got to chalk a lot of those losses up to Jason Garrett, to be honest with you. Mike McCarty is going to turn that team around. They're going to be good.
I don't buy that. There's so many times that Dak Prescott left points on the field because he overthrew Michael Gallup.
Right.
Man.
Right. And I agree with you with that. I 100% agree with you on that. But I think Mike McCarty is going to – I think Andy Dalton is going to reel Dak Prescott in. And I know you are a huge Cowboys fan. I'm a passive Cowboys fan. And people watch our show are big Cowboys fans like as well. Guys, Dak Prescott is going to do just enough to stay on that team and get a long-term deal with the Dallas Cowboys, and you guys are stuck with mediocrity moving forward, unfortunately. But
story of the Cowboys' life.
And I think that they have the offensive firepower to keep up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if Dak Prescott is playing an A game, not a minus game or a B game. Has to play an A to A plus game. They could keep up with the Bucs. I think the Saints could keep up with the Bucs as well. And thinking on the other NFC side, I'm pretty sure the 49ers cannot keep up with them offensively, obviously, but their defense might slow them down just enough.
Seahawks, I think, could keep up with them.
And they got a good defense, too.
So maybe the Packers, maybe, if Aaron Rodgers is playing. I can just never count Aaron Rodgers out.
It would come down to the Seahawks and the Saints, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And it would be Tampa Bay against the Saints or
and depending how the regular season goes, I mean, it's always hard to beat a team 3 times in the season. So let's say the Bucs sweep the Saints in the regular season. For some crazy-ass reason, I'm going to give the Saints the edge in the playoffs. But if they split, I'd have to probably give the Bucs the edge.
We'll see. It's going to be interesting, man. I'm ready for football.
Yeah, I did see a post up here way earlier in the show. This is going to be the best football season ever, if we have a football season.
Now we'll have a football season.
We have to have a football season. If Mike, if we don't have a football season, I'm pretty sure Cindy's going to kick me out of the house. Like I am like chomping at the bits. Like just like give me some football. Like we just had a high school football meeting today of like how to protect the kids from COVID and like and shit. And I instantly got home. I turned on Huddle and started watching film. Like I'm just fired up. Like I just can't wait for it.
Me too, man. Me too.
Well, guys, that is going to be it for tonight. We ran a little long. Apologies. But Mike and Mike Man Hours coming July 5th, next Sunday night, 10 o'clock East Coast time, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Right there on the Facebook page. If you have not liked the Facebook page yet, go over to Mike and Mike Man Hour. Like that page. Share it with a couple friends. Remember, sharing is caring. Once we get up to 500 likes, guys, we're giving away a $100 Amazon gift card. So 500 likes, we're giving around a $100 Amazon gift card. And also join the Trash Talk page. Fun discussions in there. Mike, any closing thoughts before we head out, man?
No, man. None.
All right, guys. That is it. Just for Clicks, live, raw, and uncut sports talk. Miss any part of the show, check us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio as well, rtsportsnetwork.com, noon hour, East Coast time. Have a good night.